God can redeem even the most shattered lives and relationships. If you want to find out how that has happened, you need to stay tuned. Welcome to God Answers Prayer. I'm Linda Tiano, your host. And today, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11. Here's what Yahweh says to you. I know all about the marvelous destiny I have in store for you, a future planned out in detail. My intention is not to harm you, but to surround you with peace and prosperity and to give you a beautiful future glistening with hope. Jason Crocker found himself on a dark and dangerous path. Hear how he found a new path. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. I'm here with Jason Crocker. Jason, welcome to God Answers Prayer.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
I'm excited to hear your story because, you started out saying, I was an atheist.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us how that happened or how...
Well, I say atheist, but I was more of an anti-theist, where I actually like to convert people and debate people into not believing, because I believe so much in other things, like aliens. I believed in aliens over God. I think the aliens created creation. I thought all kinds of bizarre things, and just didn't believe in God at all.
When did that happen? What was it like growing up?
It was, my parents weren't very religious at all, by any means. They both grew up Catholic, so they didn't force anything on us. So religion was not anything that was in our household ever. So it was just normal for us to not believe in a higher power or anything. It was that's the way it was.
Yeah. So when did you start having these other belief patterns that took off? Were they before you left New Mexico?
Like the aliens and stuff? No, I think, so I've always suffered from addiction my whole life, starting in high school. Whatever I could do, whatever I could find, I would do. So I was always pretty intoxicated on some substance throughout my whole life. Into my adult life, I was always on some substance. I always used drugs and alcohol to self-medicate myself. I suffered from depression a lot. And I think just doing drugs, one day I was watching an alien show and just started believing in that and started studying that and going down that path and believing everything that I heard on TV and documentaries and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, they can present a really good story sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
So, so you had your own terms as far as what you believed.
Yes, ma'am.
And you went through a lot of different things?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, from nothing to everything.
Wow.
Except God.
So what happened? All of that an addiction, it's not just a substance addiction. There's something else there.
Sure.
That's addicting
Sure.
you,
Right.
and drawing you, that it's hard to break through. But that's a dark place.
Yeah, I think everybody that suffers from addiction problems is trying to fill a hole. We all have this hole that we're trying to fill with something, and
Yeah.
and it helped fill that void of whatever I was looking for. But
So you were into drug addiction. You lost your career.
I did. I lost my career. And when I lost my career, I ended up moving back out here after a 10-year career in the military. And then I came out here to start over.
And did you?
No, I just found drugs easier to get out here in New Mexico. And,
That's a shame.
yeah, yeah. So it just started me down an even darker path.
Yeah.
You know, drugs, addiction, depression. I was on a lot of medication for depression and anxiety and things like that.
And so, I mean, all of that, did you tangle with law enforcement?
No, I really kept it away from people. Like, really, people knew but didn't say anything to me, and it wasn't, like, I kind of kept it real low, so I
And
avoided anything
there were no
like that.
relationships along the way that where somebody might have realized or wanted to speak into your life?
No, not really.
Wow.
Yeah. I was pretty just running from one person to the next, just again trying to fill that hole, you know, trying to satisfy it with everything in the world but God, you know, so it just wasn't getting it, never got any better.
So that leaves you feeling pretty hopeless.
Oh yeah, always.
So what happened?
So about 11 and a half years ago, we were going to the, I'd always kind of stayed in touch with my ex-wife and her family, and so they'd always invite us to church with my daughter. So they invited us to church for the Christmas Eve service, and so my mom was in town, so I was taking my mom to the service to go meet my daughter and my ex-wife. And I remember my mom was sitting in the passenger seat, and I remember telling her, like, you guys are, I can't believe you believe the biggest lie that's ever told. And I just remember my mom crying, like the whole way to church, she just cried. And it made me feel a little bad, but so we go to the service and we come home, and a couple days later, I woke up in the morning and I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do any drugs. I had them in my house, but I just chose not to do them. So for 3 days, I was sick. I was detoxing off the drugs. And on January 3rd, I just decided I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I couldn't stay clean. So I decided to use again. And I felt really ashamed, because I had made it almost a week, and I just felt ashamed that I did it again. So that morning, I decided to end my life. So, and that gave me a peace, you know, like just a peace that I knew it was gonna be over soon. So I was content with that decision, and I hadn't showered in almost a week while I was doing all this. So that January 3rd, I just decided to go ahead and just take a shower, get cleaned up, because I knew my dad would find my body that evening. So when I got in the shower, I'm just showering, you know, cleaning up, and this I'm not looking for God, mind you. So I'm in my shower, and this bright light above my shower head just like blinds me, and this hand come out, like I think it was a finger, come and touch my face, and I immediately knew that it was God. Like, I knew nothing of the Bible, I knew nothing, but I knew that it was God, and God just touched me. And he showed me the truth about everything. And so I'm standing there, and glass just falls from my body, and I look down, and it's shackles. It's like armor and shackles.
Wow.
And I could see it clear as day. It's as clear as I could see you. I saw glass armor with like old school shackles and chains at the bottom of my shower. And I felt so free. and I left the shower, and I felt like my eyes change. Like I told my wife I felt, or my ex-wife, I told my wife or my ex-wife that it felt like scales came off my eyes and I could see. And I went outside and I could see everything clearly. I could see every single leaf in a tree, and I could see everything. And it was just the most freeing feeling I've ever had in my life, most satisfying feeling I've ever had in my life. And so I immediately called my ex-wife, who was, she worked at the church. She was very involved in the church. So I called her to tell her what just happened to me. And I shared my story with her and my brother, who was a believer. I called him and shared him. And they're like you were just awoken by God. And it was the first day of my life, really.
Yeah, yeah. So he brought you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So, I mean, so that's, I mean, not everybody has something so unique like that happen to them. But what happened after that? I mean, did you start seeking more? Or?
Yeah, so actually the following weekend, Saturday night, I found myself in the same church that I had been blaspheming against and telling people that this is the darkest place and that this place is a lie. I found myself going up to the altar call. Well, first, the morning, I'm driving to church, and I'm like, I look around like I'm driving to church. Like, you know, I was in like an out-of-body experience. Like, I'm just driving to church. I don't remember getting ready. I don't remember doing anything. I just know I was going to church by myself on my own. And I went up to the altar call at Calvary Chapel and just started my journey. Yeah.
And so, I mean, now you had been, you'd been divorced for how long?
When I joined the military, we moved to North Carolina, and again, you know, suffering from addiction, and I was not faithful. So my wife left me almost immediately when we got out there. I don't think she even made it a year. So she came back here, brought my daughter. So it was 21 years. We were divorced for 21 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So she had got remarried and had a child with somebody else, but we were still friends. We always stayed in contact. When I first moved out here, I actually lived with her mother for a little bit. I mean, that's how close we were with the family, you know. And after 21 years, my dad had not been answering his phone. So I went to go do a welfare check on my dad, and I found him with a gunshot wound to the head, like he had taken his own life. And like my family was really concerned. So they called my ex-wife, and she actually showed up before the police showed up. And so me and my ex-wife were there waiting for the police to show up and stuff, and we started talking, and she never left my side. And that was 5 years ago. Yeah, so.
So during that whole time, were you seeing your daughter?
Thank you. My daughter?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
we were in contact?
Yeah, we didn't live too far from each other, so we were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were good friends.
So that is so interesting, because I mean, the family part of it didn't leave you.
Yeah.
Literally, God had a family unit around you, protecting you, because I believe that if it hadn't been for that, you might have been out doing other things.
Absolutely, and that's what my family was most concerned of, was that I would go back to that place after my dad passed, because me and my dad were best friends. Like we hung out every single day. Like I went to work, stopped by his house every single day on my way home, and we'd hang out, eat dinner and stuff. So he was my best friend. So had a lot of people.
Did this happen before? Did he take his life before you came?
No, ma'am. This happened 5 years ago. I've been saved for 11 and a half years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was something there apparently
Yeah,
that was kind of
and
in the family that
right. And after
that
you
needs
find
to be
out,
broken.
everybody, in my family and in my wife's family all prayed for me, to find God one day, and my daughter used to always pray that I meet a godly woman. She had no idea she was praying for me to be back with her mother. So it's funny to hear that now.
Yeah. We're going to take a little pause here. And for those of you that are listening today, and you may be saying, wow, it's like he's reading my mail. This is me. We want you to know that we've got prayer partners that will pray with you. The number's right there on the bottom of the screen. And if you're being touched and moved by this, call it. Don't wait a minute. Call. And there will be somebody that will pray and love on you. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back here with Jason Crocker. And Jason, you were talking about, you were in the depths of despair, basically. You were living but not living. And that experience in the shower where that bright light and the finger of God touched you on your forehead. That's an amazing experience, and it changed everything, literally. So you said you went back to church, you made a confession of faith, and what started happening then?
Oh my goodness. I immediately stopped taking any antidepressants, anxiety pills, anything that was prescribed to me from a doctor. I just knew I didn't need it anymore. I just didn't need it anymore. Like that void that was in my soul was filled, and it just changed everything. Yeah. I had a lot of guilt from my marriage. Mind you, my marriage won't be restored for another 6 years. So at this time, I still have a lot of regret, a lot of shame from my military career, from losing my wife, not being able to raise my daughter. So I'm still struggling with that a little bit, going to church and stuff. And then one day, I'm sitting at the house, and this voice tells me, I forgive you. Who are you? And just like all my guilt, all my shame just went away, like instantly. It's crazy because I see atheists now, and I just wish something like that would happen to them, because that's what it took for me. Because I wasn't seeking God. I didn't feel like I needed anything else in my life. I had everything I needed, So I just wish everybody could experience that powerfulness of God like that.
Yeah.
It will take the most anti-believer and change you in a second.
I don't know why the Lord's put this in my head, but I'm just going to say it. But the scripture that says, I knew you in your mother's womb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He knew you.
Yeah.
And he knows somebody watching today. And he knew that he had a plan and a purpose. And he's so gracious, and he's so loving and kind. And he waits. Mm-hmm. He waits for us.
Right.
Which is just amazing.
Absolutely.
So you just continued the friendship with your ex-wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely feel like he had his hand over me my whole life.
Yeah.
Like that, because there's no reason I should be sitting here with the recklessness of my life, of how, for an example, being in an alley in Detroit at night, like I shouldn't be here. Like the amount of drugs I use, God's definitely been watching over me and definitely had a different plan for me, and it's a great plan.
Yeah.
Like my life is so full now. It's only the greatness of God.
Okay, so tell us about how how the Lord orchestrated your wife and you returning.
Well, my wife, she was remarried and then divorced. She'll tell her story, but she had been praying for reconciliation with her husband since they were divorced, and they were divorced for a while. So when my dad died, she was kind of by my side, and just still doing her life too, but still with me all the time. We weren't together or anything. She was just giving me emotional support.
Right.
She had a big, strong prayer group of people praying for her marriage and to be reconciled. And she was told one day that that she's going to be reconciled, but it's going to be with her first husband, her original covenant. And it kind of blew her mind.
So somebody that really didn't know the whole thing?
Well, God told her
Yeah.
this. Yeah, like she.
Oh my goodness.
She didn't know. I didn't know, and she just told me what she was told, and then we just kind of started dating and starting over, and we're celebrating our 5-year anniversary in August next month. So.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And now you're doing it together with God.
Yes, and we had neither one of us were believers when we were married the first time. She wasn't either.
Yeah.
She came to God in her own way. She'll share that. But now we have four grandkids who will only know us as the God-fearing grandparents that they should know. So it's really cool. It's really cool.
So your daughter, I mean, that must have been a interesting thing for her.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was pretty excited about it.
Good. Yeah. And then she has a brother.
She does.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you have in a way you've got an extension too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You got
He's
a bonus.
A great kid. Yeah. Yeah.
And so are they? Your daughter's married, I take it.
My daughter is married.
Yeah,
yes,
and has children. And what about your stepson?
No, he's lives in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't have any kids yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, it was like that great heartbreak of losing your dad.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you feel like the floor is just opened up underneath you.
Yeah. To be honest, God took care of me through that. I wasn't mad at my dad. He suffered from his own demons, depression, substance. But I just knew he was okay, and I wasn't mad at him. And the moral of the story for me was beauty from ash, and almost like a sacrifice.
Yeah. Well, it's restoration.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for coming and sharing and just being real,
Thank you.
The tears, the everything. I mean, that touches hearts and lives, because I know there are people viewing today, and you may be going through something similar. It may not look like this at all, but yet God has a plan for you. And just like he had for Jason all along, and now he's walking in that plan and that purpose in his life and the fulfillment that brings, and he can bring that to you. So tell me what are you doing these days?
I drive Lyft on the side for a side job, so it gives me a huge opportunity to minister to people, because I pick up in a lot of bad areas of town.
Great.
I pretty much gave away everything for drugs and my lifestyle, so I had to start over. So getting to pick up people in bad areas, and I drive a really nice car, and I get a lot of comments on it and stuff like, I could never have anything like this. So I love to pick up those kind of people and let them know that through God, all is possible, you know. Like, I didn't think I'd have anything in my life, you know, and I didn't without God. But with God, I have everything. Like, I have everything I need. You know, my life is so fulfilled. So I really try to do the ministry to the drug addicts and people like that, you know.
Beautiful.
And that's fulfilling because you get to let people know there is hope, there is a future.
Amen.
You know?
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming and sharing, and thank you for joining with us today to hear this story. And perhaps you can tell someone else to tune in, and so they can hear the story. And if you haven't accepted the greatest gift of all, please call. His name is Yeshua, Jesus. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He make His face to shine upon you and be gracious to you and give you His everlasting peace. Shalom, shalom.
Please contact us by visiting kchftv.org and click on Share Your Testimony. Our prayer partners are here to pray for your needs. Call us today at 505-345-4165. We appreciate your prayers and support. Join us again next time for more inspiring stories and testimonies. Remember, God is always listening, and He answers our prayers in His perfect timing.